Good morning or good day to everybody. I hope you have good time here in Odesa. And I would like to take this opportunity to talk to you about what is going on in Ukrainian CSD. CSD, as you know, this is a central securities depository. So what we're trying to achieve and how we can use a new technology to achieve our goals and where we will go to. But actually, I would like to start from the maybe history from the past and just to have a context where we're operating and where we're going to. So actually, we are here in Odesa. We have here staircase to heaven. Okay. I will start from the 1917. Okay. And in 1917, it was here in Odessa, Project Drago. It was on 9th of December 1917, and it was issued 25 million rubles. At that time, here in the territory of Ukraine, you know, it was a breakup of Russian Empire, and as usually, we had a financial crisis. And as usually, you know, we had all the stuff that Daniel maybe talked to you about. So we had money hoarding. So in one place there were a lot of money. In another place where no money at all. So what happens, you know, so actually in Odessa here there were no money. So people were trying to use other means, you know, so they were printing just paper money, just all this sort of money. And also what people did, you know, so this like Project Drago, they issued the 25 million rubles in large denominations and then 5 million rubles in small denominations and used it, you know, just to really, you know, smooth the economic activity, which is anyway in place, you know. People live, you know, so they have to do something, you know. They do something and they need, you know, means of exchange. That's why people were creating this, like Project Drago. They have created these new currencies. And then 1918, it was the Hetman Skoropadsky law, and it was issuance of 1 billion hryvnia, 4 years bond at 3.6%. And these bonds, for example, they were used as a means of payment. And they were by law, by this law, they were enforced to be accepted as a legal tender. Okay, and this is what happened here. This is what happened here in Ukraine. So actually, we used here in this territory, Ukrainian territory, we used here some sort of complementary currency because I mean this sort of rubles that were issued here, they were complementary to existing one, you know, just existing Russian rubles, you know, which were in place here. Also, these bonds, they were also complementary currency. I mean, even bottle of vodka was used as a complementary currency here. But, well, actually, people are trying to use all the time, you know, some means of exchange, you know, helping them to exchange values, okay? And so actually, right now we see also this global trend, which is in place. So, as again, Daniel told you, so there are thousands of communities globally using this additional means of exchange. They are making different projects. There are sort of 4,000 or 5,000, whatever projects in the world, you know, running on, you know, on these complementary currencies. So people are trying to establish networks between themselves. So they do a network of businesses, you know, they do business anyway, you know. So they try to solve this problem, you know, that we have now, but in many different ways. Some of them successful, some of them maybe not, but still, you know, and we are also in all these trends. So they are creating a group of so-called, you know, this is a term, I think, yeah, or what? Her. Nice one. Yeah, that's netizens. Yeah, so we are not anymore the citizens. You know, we just becoming netizens. You know, people who are using network to communicate and to make economic exchanges as well, and who use some means of communication for that. Okay, so that's what. So, of people around the world, you and me and other people, we are just also re-engineering money. We're using some sort of money, legal tender, but we still use, you know, some complementary things like railplane miles. Yes, use miles. This is also complementary currency. So we do this. We use it, and we are participating in all these projects. We participating in very nice projects like Bitcoin, you know, which just really showed us that blockchain technology is working, you know. And this is very nice. This is a great example how new technology can really work in practice. Some, just some pluses, some minuses, but still, so it works. So we are together re-engineer our money. So we really understand that. So we can really create new projects which will help us to have sufficient money for the needs of communities, to exchange products, services, and we can foster very desirable outcomes. So which is greater cooperation and care and collaboration. Okay, this is what kind of outcomes we can have just by redesigning of money. So again, then coming back to National Depository of Ukraine. So how it relates to how all these developments relates to us, to Ukraine, and again to the National Depository of Ukraine. Because, as I told you, here in Ukraine, people were using, and successfully using at that time, the securities, bonds, as we told. So the bonds were used as a complementary currency. And complementary currency in the time of crisis, like the story of Vir. So you know this again. So you've heard about the story. You know the story. Maybe somebody used this Vir. I don't know. I never used it. I know only the story. But actually, this complementary currency is very good. Why? Because actually it helps economy to go through cycles. To go through busts. So you have booms and busts. And it booms. You have not much Virs in circulations, but in busts, when economy is going down, because all the time when economy is going down, you have less money. You don't have much money. Okay, so you have lack of liquidity. You have no money supply. Okay, so you have money demand, but not enough money supply. So how you cope with them? You just create complementary currency, and complementary currency in this case, when there are not enough liquidity, not enough money, so there are more complementary. And then again, when you have boom times, so when people want to exchange, so everybody think, so tomorrow will be better than today. Okay, so they try to get more loans and things like this. So there are less complementary currencies. People use more legal tender. So which means that actually complementary currencies really are complementary. It's not just a different currency which is used instead of legal tender, but this is a currency which complement. And because we think, that really the securities can be used as a complementary currency, we in NDU, we try to really rebuild and to establish a playing field, level playing field for securities here in Ukraine. So there are a few facts about NDU, maybe you know, maybe not. So in National Depository of Ukraine is serving 12,000 issuers in Ukraine. So they are our customers. They're issuing, just shares. They're public companies, who are issuing their shares, and they're issuing, and we help them, just to account all this, what's happening with these issuers. Okay, so we serve also 300 custodians, all banks, of course, because mostly banks have custody function in Ukraine, and also some companies who have custodian license here from the Securities Exchange Commission. And we have assets. I mean, this is a par value. I'm not telling you about the market value, but par value is one something trillion hryvnia in assets. This is what we have in our walls. Okay, and we also serve 12,000 plus securities issuance. Okay, so this is everything that we have in a National Depository of Ukraine. Okay, and as we understand that people will be using more and more securities as a complementary currency, so we have to do something, just to help people do this. But we had problems. So what kind of problems we had? So in 2014, so we lost our backup facilities in occupied Crimea. Russians occupied Crimea. There were a very big backup facility. We lost it. With the servers, okay, we were managed, to take back our servers from there with data, but still, so I mean, this is a problem. And we had a loss of data in Trade Union House. You know, Trade Union House was on a Maidan Square. Okay, and when we have this Revolution of Dignity, 2014, so it was a big fire there, and the data was lost. Okay, second thing. Third thing, we also lost the critical key infrastructure in Yalta. So in Yalta we had a center for public key infrastructure, you know, especially for the securities depository. This is what happened with us, you know, just last year. So these are risks that we not only, you know, just imagine and calculate. These are risks that we've seen, you know, we experienced, you know, with our own hands and eyes, you know. So. And also, you know, in parallel, what we see, you know, in parallel, we see that something happens in the area of blockchain. So we see the development of Bitcoin. So, and there are many lessons that you can just take from Bitcoin development. But for us, you know, it's very important that actually that actually people should obey the rules, you know. And the thing that Bitcoin showed us, you know, that you can develop a system which is run algorithmically, and you cannot change it, you know. So you cannot have people, you know, going there just changing thing, you know, like we had these things, you know, with elections, you know, when people go into the servers, you know, change something, you know, and you know they influence the output. There are some changes also in computer system, of course, as well, just related. So we had, for example, I know the statistics for 2014, but in say in 2013 in Ukrainian banking sector we lost 300 million hryvnia, you know, because of intrusions, you know, into the system. Okay, so so actually, if you can just make things, you know, work more algorithmically and with less involvement on people, you know, we hope that we can really just provide people with a better services and more reliable service. Okay, so. We as NDU, as the National Depository of Ukraine, also looking at many CSDs and central counterparties and exchanges in the world, like NASDAQ, you know, their experiments with Q4 or some other experiments. So we also just look at this direction, but at the time being, we are especially interested in blockchain technology because maybe with our first steps, this technology can help us, you know, all the problems that we were talking about before, you know, with the loss of data, you know, just with the loss of integrity of data. Okay, so and we are now just talking, and we are just launching a project really to understand whether blockchain technology can help us, you know, with a data backup. So basically, if we can put, you know, all our data in a blockchain, you know, and use it in a distributed way, you know, and then, for example, all these mishaps that we had, you know, before, so maybe we can just, you know, somehow avoid them, you know. So if we'll use not only backup facility, but plus, you know, the whole internet, you know, to put our information there, just to store it really in internet like blockchain does. Okay, and also the blockchain can help us to maintain integrity of data. As you know, so in blockchain, if you just take something out, you know, so the technology allows you just to back up everything, to restore it again, and to restore it in a proper way. So this is two steps that we would like to explore right now, and we are just starting projects there, and the next step will be really just to use the general ledger facility, because the general ledger facility is really going to help us, you know, just to move to revolutionize the financial market, because we can go from the correspondent relationships, okay, because now all the international banking system, or even securities, they are just established on the basis of correspondent relations. So these are bilateral relations between two financial institutions, and in this way, maintaining accounts with each other. Okay, you can really just transfer assets, and we have the whole web of this correspondent relations in the world. And this is how international financial system works now. But having this, having centralized general ledger, which is in internet and everybody can access it, so we can go from the distributed system to the centralized system. And then, but this centralized system will be in internet, so everybody can access it. So there are a lot of issues with security, and reliability and things like this. But still, this is what we think, we will go into, and that's why we will also start this the project in this area. But as a first step, as I told you, so our idea is just that maybe we are exploring, how we can use blockchain for data backup and for maintaining integrity of data. Okay. So basically, we're in Odesa. So
so that you don't forget.
Have great fun. Just relax and just think about blockchain. Maybe have new great ideas, and let's do something together in the future.
Fantastic.